Don't surround yourself with people that don't respect your right to be you. I don't care if they're family, I don't care who they are. If they don't respect your right to be you, then what you're doing, interacting with them all the time, it's just gonna make you depressed, it's gonna make you frustrated. Walk away. Most people are not living their lives. They're not living who they are. They're living what they think others think they should be. And therefore, they're living a lie. They're living someone else's version of them. What happened to me as a result of that massive ridicule is that I let go of the fear of what other people thought. And when you do that, it's indescribable what that does. If you feel secure or not. So you're scanning the audience as you're speaking and you're looking for reaction. What do they think of it? That power is there. Once you let go of the fear of what other people think, you can speak to 100 people or 1,000,000 people. It doesn't matter, because the dynamic has changed. The dynamic now says, this is my truth, and I respect your right to make of it what you will and come to your own conclusion. But this is my truth, and your reaction is not going to affect my truth. So however you react to what I'm saying, whether you like it, whether you laugh at it, or whether you condemn it, it doesn't matter to me, because it's my truth and I have a right to speak it. My truth and my security is not dependent on other people's reaction to me. That's I completely respect their right to respond as they choose, but I have a right too not to be affected by it. You will only express your true, unique self if you refuse to let anyone impact and suppress that expression of your true, unique self. If you live your life within the parameters and the program of the postage stamp consensus, then you are interacting with this quantum field of possibility and probability in a very narrow band of frequency. So the potential you have to manifest experience in your life and achievement, if you like for a word, in your life is limited by that. Once you expand your self-identity, as I'll come to in a second, and your consciousness expands, and your sense of the possible expands, you're now interacting with this quantum field of possibility and probability in a much vaster swathe. And therefore, your potential for manifestation of experience, for manifestation of achievement, for manifestation of the world, the life you want, becomes massively expanded. And so when in the body, you can stop self-identifying with the labels and start to self-identify with being the consciousness, everything changes. Because what self-identification with labels does is it focuses attention, and your interaction with the cosmic field of probability and possibility is limited by that focus of attention within that frequency. Once you say, they are my experiences, I am the infinite awareness having those experiences, you start to interact with possibility and probability on a vastly greater scale. And suddenly, life becomes an adventure. Suddenly, your life changes. People that represent the old frequency of your life, they disappear. New people come in, new opportunities happen, amazing coincidences happen that didn't happen before. Oh, it's a miracle. Fancy me? No, it's not a miracle. You're interacting with possibility and probability on a vaster scale. Therefore, probability and possibilities happen in a more extraordinary way than they do when you're there. And this is When you do the research and you realize what is actually manipulating this world, you realize that while the vast majority of people that are making decisions every day, like politicians and people, etc., are overwhelmingly 99.999% clueless about reality, as are most scientists, vast majority of scientists and doctors and all of them, deep in the shadows, out of the public arena, where it's all coming from, they understand how this works. They know that if they can hijack your perception, they can hijack your experience by this feedback interaction between your perception, which creates your frequency band of interaction with the cosmic field of possibility and probability. The more they can contract our sense of self, the more they can control our life experiences and suppress it to the point where we're no problem to them. What happens is, and this is what the program encourages, of course, is people self-identify with those labels and they say, that is me. I am my income bracket, I am my life story, I am my race, I am my culture. No. They are what your consciousness is experiencing, your point of attention. And you know you, Mr. Islamic man, and you, Mr. Jewish man, and you, Mr. Christian man, and you, Mr. White man, you, Mr. Black man, you, Mr. Asian man, you're all points of attention of the same infinite consciousness. And because you have become so programmed to believe that your labels are you, you are fighting each other for power.
To hold on to an identity.
To hold on to impose in many ways an identity that is merely an illusion of incredibly short experience. When you leave the body, your consciousness leaves the body at a near-death experience, for instance, and I've read endless accounts all over the world of people. The common themes are incredible. They don't say, "Oh, I'm out of the body now, but I'm still a Muslim. I'm still a Hindu. I'm still a this. I'm still a that." No. They are consciousness. Consciousness, awareness, a state. That's what we are. And so, what alternative practitioners say is mainstream medicine only treats the symptom, it doesn't treat the cause. But if mainstream medicine will not accept the existence of the waveform field level of the body, which is where the cause comes from, it's only left with treating the symptom, which is the expression of a problem in the waveform field being decoded into the holographic field of the body. So you look at science, you look at medicine, journalism, like I say, all of it, politics, they're all living on this postage stamp. Oh, we're a left-wing political party. Okay, you're on the left of the postage stamp. And we're a right. Yeah, okay, you're on the right of the postage stamp. But no one's off the postage stamp. And therefore, society is living in this bubble of unreality, this bubble of complete misunderstanding of the very reality we're experiencing. I mean, you talk to most scientists, although quantum physics has shown this to be true, and they have to acknowledge quantum physics exists, because it does, they crack on in their own disciplines as if quantum physics doesn't exist, as if the whole thing's bloody solid and real. I mean, you look at medicine. Medicine treats the body as if the body is a solid reality with the scalpel and the drug. But the body is just a decoded projection of waveform energetic fields. And if that energetic field is in harmony, the body has to be in harmony, it has to be healthy, because the body that we see is just a holographic decoded projection of the waveform field of information. If that waveform field of information becomes disharmonious, which emotion can do, this is why stress causes illness, which fear can do, which anxiety can do, which radiation fields can do, which Wi-Fi can do, then that distortion of the waveform field of the body becomes expressed in the projection, decoded projection of what we call the physical body. And therefore we have dis-ease, disharmony, illness, which is why the alternative methods of healing going way, way back, whether it's acupuncture, all of it, focus on healing the waveform level of the body, the energetic level of the body, knowing that if that's right, this must be right. Because mainstream medicine, within this 5-cent postage stamp prison that it operates in, does not accept the waveform level of the body and only accepts this level, which it can see, touch and taste, etc. What can it do but try to treat what it can see with the scalpel and the drug, which is why it causes such mayhem to the point where the biggest cause of death in America now is the treatment.